After LSU run-ruled Missouri last night of the series opener, we've got some Friday afternoon softball coming up. Game 2 in Columbia, number 20 LSU and Mizzou. After the results last night, Missouri slips alone into 10th place in the SEC. LSU a win better, but still sitting in 11th. Alongside former Tigers captain Ashley Moore, I'm Nate Gatter. LSU had only a 2-0 lead for much of last night's game, but because of the performance of Jaden Heebner, 11 strikeouts, it really felt like they were always in control.
Jaden Heebner was phenomenal in the circle for LSU last night. First, second, third innings, Missouri had they had a hard time hitting against her. They didn't get runners on until 2 outs later on in the game, and really just couldn't come up with any timely hitting against her.
Get a look back then at how LSU blew things open in the 6th inning. Tori Edwards led off with LSU still up just 2-0, and what had become a nail-biter in the middle innings for them with Missouri's traffic. A 2-run blast made it 4-0 LSU, and they added 5 more runs with 2 outs.
LSU was impressive the entire game, not only with their defense, but their hitting was so good, especially in key situations. They did a phenomenal job hitting with runners in scoring position, and that 6th inning, they just blew the game wide open.
Tori Edwards started the rally. Kylie Edwards capped it with a 2-run shot of her own. And that, Ashley, was the story of the night. LSU 6 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Missouri 0 for 6.
When you look at those numbers, LSU obviously did the situational hitting that they needed to do. If you're Larissa Anderson, you look at that stat after the game, and that makes you just sick to your stomach. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Only 1 2-out RBI in the 6th inning on a walk, and you really need for your hitters to come through in big situations.
Missouri had just the 1 2-out run. LSU scored 7 of its 9 runs, all but the Tori Edwards homer with 2 outs. And 5 of those 7 2-out runs came in the 6th inning after the inning was apparently over before a timely Beth Torina challenge. Here is her lineup. Couple of changes at the bottom. Destiny Harris and Avery Hodge into the 8 and 9 spots. Tori Edwards, who had that homer, will bat in the number 5 slot. Marissa McCann gets the ball in the circle for Missouri in Game 2.
Marissa McCann is such an anchor of this Missouri staff. She has been the Friday, Sunday starter, has moved to being the Saturday starter, with Sunday moving in and pitching a few more innings than she has in the past. But she's really been the anchor of this pitching staff for Larissa Anderson.
First pitch strike to get us underway at 3:02 locally. Umpires are Carlos Guzman behind the plate, Gil Zayas at first, Cameron Ellison at third. There were some contentious moments for the crew last night. Jayla Lassiter had her RBI single and runs scored in that 6th inning last night, but hit the ball hard. In fact, hit it harder in her first 3 trips, all of which were outs, than she did in her 4th when she got one off the end of the bat and dropped it into right.
We've talked about that a little bit. In the game of softball, it all kind of evens out, but Lassiter had really good at-bats against Sierra Harrison last night. Wasn't able to get a hit off of her, even though she was hitting the ball really hard, and then comes up and hits a bloop and is able to get a base hit out of it.
Strikeout looking on 4 pitches for Marissa McCann to open Game 2.
It's a great pitch by McCann for the strikeout, looking out on that outside corner.
Sierra Daniel now. Bunt back toward the circle. McCann plays it. Daniel beats it. Bunt single, and LSU has the first base runner of the day.
Sierra Daniel has been so impressive these past 2 games. We've seen her hit the ball well. We've seen her do a couple slap hits, but then she drops down this bunt for a hit. She moves down the baseline really quickly. LSU in general as a team runs bases really well.
Here's Kylie Edwards. She too was 1 out of 4 in the series opener, but blasted a homer out to left.
You see McCann here. She's, as I said, she's the anchor of the staff. She throws the ball hard. She can touch 70, and she has a rise, curve, and drop. Where she is most successful is if she can get her changeup working. So if she can have the rise ball and the drop ball working so she can change planes with the hitter, getting them to chase up, getting them to chase down, and then be able to come back with a changeup. That's when she's at her best.
One. Ball and 2 strikes. Edwards has been right on these foul balls. One of the things we hear not only from Larissa Anderson but from coaches around the country is how they like to use their entire pitching staffs. They like to change up the looks that batters see over the course of a game and a series. What are the key ways in which Sierra Harrison, last night's starter, and Marissa McCann are different?
Sierra Harrison, she's going to work her curveball a lot more, and her curveball turns into a little bit of a curve rise, and she kind of runs that out of the zone, especially with 2 strikes. That gets people to kind of chase it. McCann is a very good drop ball pitcher, and if she's kind of added in a rise ball since she's been at Missouri, so if she can add in the rise with the drop, it just changes the plane. It's not moving side to side, but it's moving up and down.
Should be noted that Sierra Harrison pitched pretty well last night for Mizzou. Another 1-2 to Edwards. Off the end of the bat into short center. Langer for the second out. Because LSU, with those first 2 runs scored over the opening 5 innings, scratched them out in part because they capitalized off a pair of Harrison walks and then aggressive base running that allowed them to get runs around and score without the ball leaving the infield in one case. Then she made the one significant mistake on the Tori Edwards 2-run homer to start that 6th inning. Alex Franklin in the cleanup spot again for LSU. She had the infield single that drove in the first run for the Tigers in the top of the 1st inning last night. That got a piece of our plate umpire, Carlos Guzman. He's going to walk it off.
Umpires in this series have had it a little rough. Home plate umpire last night took a foul ball right off the chest as well. He at least had a chest protector. This one looks like it hits him right on the arm.
Yeah, that's going to sting.
That's something you're hoping it didn't break a bone. It hit him pretty direct right off the bat.
Oh, I don't want to listen to this. Oh. Seems like he's going to be okay to continue. That's his strike signaling hand, too.
Oh, no. Pitchers aren't going to like that.
Yeah, I wonder. Now the corners are all balls the rest of the way. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sierra Daniel over at first after her bunt single with 1 out of the inning. To second, handled by Smith. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for LSU in the visiting first. Missouri coming up. LSU. Trying to follow up the 11 strikeouts from Jaden Heavner in the opener last night. Salora has been pitching really well over recent weeks. Beth Torina raved about her when we spoke to her this week.
Salura she has a lot of experience for Beth Torina out there in the circle. LSU has a great pitching staff. She's one of many that can go out there and start a game for Beth Torina. You see Jaden Heavner there in the dugout. Heavner was so impressive last night in the circle for LSU.
Not only tied the season high, but set a career high with 11 strikeouts in SEC games. Missouri starting lineup for Larissa Anderson in game 2. Same as it was in the opener. Salora to Addie Waits.
Last night, Missouri left 9 runners on base, and that stat is something that makes coaches just irrationally angry. They have to be able to get runners in scoring position, but then they have to come up with the big hit. They have to be able to manufacture these runs against LSU to win.
And those 9 runners left on base for Missouri all came in the last 4 innings. 2 in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the bases loaded in the 6th. Little low, maybe outside as well. 2 balls and a strike.
Last night it took Missouri a few innings to feel comfortable in the box. Heavner was throwing the ball really hard. She was working her curveball very well on the outside corners, and she was able to start it out in the other batter's box even and break it over the plate on right-handed hitters. She was so impressive, and it just took Missouri a really long time to feel comfortable against her.
Heavner struck out the first 5 she faced, and went 8 up and 8 down to begin the game before Claire Cahalan had an infield single in the 3rd. Waits has worked it full. Into left center, slicing away from Lassiter. She can't get there. Extra bases for Addie Waits, a leadoff double.
Coach Anderson has been wanting Addie Waits to step up these past couple weekends. She needs her leadoff hitter to have a really good at-bat. Obviously a huge bonus if your leadoff hitter can hit a double in the gap. Missouri starting the game very differently today than they did yesterday on the offense side.
If this ball doesn't have the slice on it that it does off a lefty bat, I think Lassiter runs it down.
That's a phenomenal job by Lassiter out there in center field. It also shows the trust between your outfielders. You know that your left fielder is coming to back you up, so you know you can go all out on that play and make that dive.
It's a great point, because in most circumstances, a diving miss that goes to the wall probably is a triple there. Abrascato fouls it away, nothing in 2, but Charles Lorenz was just about there when the ball hit the wall, and as a result, Waits really didn't have any chance of getting past second base. Up and in. We saw Jayla Lassiter make a highlight reel catch coming in late innings last night.
We talked about how good Heavner was on the mound last night, but really her defense behind her made some phenomenal plays that really made sure Missouri stayed off the base paths.
Especially because they didn't get to make that many plays. Only 7 of the 18 outs LSU recorded came by any route other than the strikeout. And you can always tell an elite center fielder too, because off the bat, she looked like she had no doubt she was going for the ball and she was going to get there. And I think most center fielders, even in the SEC, are playing that one off the wall immediately. They're angling back. They're going to play it off a hop, take it off the wall.
Yeah, I love to watch outfield play, and Lassiter is an elite outfielder. She reads the ball off the bat so well. She makes plays, and really she changes the game for LSU. I talk about it a lot with Langer for Missouri in center field, but Lassiter does the same thing for LSU out there.
Pop up by Abriscato to Tori Edwards, and we can check the scouting report on CC Salura.
Salura, she's in the high 60s. She really works her drop ball, but she's going to work it to both sides of the plate. So she's going to work that in and out. She has a lot of experience for Beth Torina in that circle, and she's really, a huge part of that pitching staff for LSU.
Near miss on ball 1 to Sydney Forrester, who struck out twice in an 0 for 3 last night. Very late on that one, foul. Missouri did not have a leadoff base runner last night until the 6th inning, which proved to be the final inning of the game. Forrester into right. Franklin there. Missouri got a leadoff double in this first inning out of Addie Waits, but Salura has bared down and now one more out away from leaving Waits in scoring position.
That's what we've been talking about this entire game, only the first inning, but Missouri has got to come up with timely hits. When you have runners in scoring position, they are going to have to get a very big situational hit.
Here's Abby Hay. Scored the only run for Missouri last night. She was that leadoff base runner in the 6th. Did not miss by much. If Hay can extend the inning, Abby Carr would be next, Missouri's leader in home runs and RBIs. Salura's 2-1. Hay to the right side and threw a base hit. Waits raved around. The throw from Franklin is too late. It's an RBI single for Abby Hay, and Missouri, after trailing 9-0 before getting on the board in the opener, has the first run in game 2.
This is a huge at-bat for Abby Hay. She's a junior for Larissa Anderson. She's been a staple in this lineup since her freshman year. She comes up big with this inside pitch. Why that's big for Abby Hay is she is not an inside pitch hitter. You see her with this inside-out swing. She likes the outside pitch a lot better than she does the inside pitch. So she does a great job with her inside-out swing to get the base hit.
Not only Missouri scoring first, but also the first hit with a runner in scoring position for Mizzou in this series after starting 0 for 8. 0 for 6 last night, 0 for 2. Carr, left center, Lassiter to the wall, it's gone! Home run number 11 for the freshman Abby Carr, and it's 3-0 Missouri.
Abby Carr is a freshman phenom for this Missouri Tiger team. She has come up big in so many situations. Was not her typical self yesterday. She struck out twice. She had a single in the 6th, maybe in the 5th inning last night. Comes up huge to put Missouri on top 3-0.
Team leading 11th homer. Team leading RBIs number 36 and 37. Pushes her OPS back up close to 1,100 for the season. Sophie Smith into foul ground. Tori Edwards just didn't have an idea where it was. Would have been a very difficult play regardless. But what a lift for Missouri after a deeply disheartening series opener last night, in which they had no offense the first couple of innings and nothing across until the 6th. to turn around and put a 3 spot on the board in the first inning today.
Well, it was a run rule game. LSU played very well, but the game was a lot tighter than it looked until that 6th inning when LSU broke it open.
Smith grounds out to her second base counterpart, Daniel, but the damage very much done for Missouri. All those struggles with runners in scoring position, all those struggles with 2 outs. Let them wash away the pain of yesterday. Abby Hay a single, Abby Carr a 2-run homer. 3-0 Missouri. Abby Carr has taken Missouri by a storm her freshman year. Gatorade Player of the Year in the state, and boy, has she backed it up.
She's been so impressive to watch. She's the reigning SEC Freshman of the Week. She is such a lethal bat for Missouri, but also then she comes in relief for Missouri in the pitching circle and just shuts down hitters. She's such a good counter to the other teams, or to the other pitchers on the staff, that she's able to shut them down.
Tori Edwards leads off the second for LSU. Takes off the plate for ball 1. 2-run homer for Carr in the bottom of the first, capping a 3-run first inning for Missouri. And of course, as you alluded to there, very good chance if Missouri can maintain a lead that we might see Carr in the circle as well before the day's out. Edwards, a rocket to center field and gone. Second home run in as many days this weekend for Tori Edwards, and she gives LSU a jolt right back after Missouri's 3-run first inning.
It's a huge home run for Edwards, coming back after giving up 3 in the first inning. Kind of comes out, nobody out, establishes that they're not going to go down without a fight. Edwards is so impressive at the plate. LSU can score runs in a hurry.
It's an inside pitch, too, that she gets her hands through on to go to dead center. There's no way that was the barrel. That's just strength.
That's a pure strength. That was a tough pitch. It wasn't a bad pitch by McCann, so just such a great piece of hitting by Edwards.
Two-run shot in the 6th inning last night. Solo shot to lead off the second. Charla Rins down 0-1. Off the plate to even the count. Not only for Edwards, her second home run in as many games, but in as many at-bats.
Safe to say she's seeing the ball pretty well right now. Back-to-back at-bats, even though there was a night in between.
It's a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that pitch is just too far over the plate. You see McCann just missed her spot, needed it to be a little bit more inside. Edwards able to get her hands through, drills that ball to center field. That's a tough pitch to take to center field.
Fouled away by Lorenz, still 1-2. The way she gets her hands through is just incredible there. It almost looks like her hands are at her left hip by the time she makes contact.
She has really quick hands, gets them through the zone very well, and then gets extended too. So you can have quick hands, but if you can't get your hands extended after you make contact, you're not going to be able to hit the ball as hard as she does.
Two balls, two strikes on Lorenz. And she'll stay alive. And even though Missouri still leads by 2, in some ways that feels like it almost evened things up, momentum-wise at the very least. Just stabilizes. Bouncer to short. Updegrove retires. Lorenz one away. Let's go back one more time to the Edwards swing, because I just want people to get a chance to see where those hands are at the point of contact.
They get there quickly, and she gets extended. So if she's not able to get that bat extended through the zone after she makes contact, that's probably a routine pop fly. But not only do her hands get there quickly, she gets them extended, which is really where that power comes from.
Looks like she's swinging a toothpick.
She's very strong.
Bergeron off the hands, and it drops in left field. Bergeron headed for second. A defensive disaster for Missouri, and the LSU senior takes advantage. Claire Cahalan must have called off Madison Updegrove, the shortstop, and for what reason?
It looked like Updegrove does get called off at the last second, but Cahalan was not there. She was not going to make that play in time. Updegrove was going to be able to camp out under that fly ball. There's got to be better communication there between the two. Missouri has had a lot of different left fielders. Larissa Anderson's used a lot of different players out there trying to figure out which one's going to have the best bat. So there hasn't been that steady communication between the left fielder and the shortstop.
Because Updegrove looked like she was just about there.
Updegrove covers a lot of ground as a shortstop. We saw, last night she didn't make the play, but you said it was a ground ball in the infield, but she was in center field essentially when she fielded that ground ball that scored the run, and she would have made the play had she not slipped on the grass.
And a wild pitch allows Bergeron to move up to third, still only 1 out, so that's a very significant 60 feet because now LSU could score her with a productive out from Destiny Harris, getting a chance as the DP. And Larissa Anderson out to talk things over with McCann and Abrascato. Just self-inflicted wounds for Missouri against an opportunistic and talented LSU attack.
Well, Bergeron turns that into a double, right? She's running hard out of the box. That could have been a single for her, but LSU runs the bases very well. They have a lot of stolen bases. They take the extra base when they can, and now all of a sudden with that wild pitch, instead of being at second, she's at third, just 60 feet away.
And to your point, I think sometimes when we have base running conversations, good base running and speed become synonymous, but they're really two different things. Obviously, speed helps you on the bases. 1 ball, 1 strike on Harris. But the good base running there by Bergeron has nothing to do with her speed or lack thereof. Instead, it's a jam shot pop-up, and she makes the choice to hustle out of the box, to see the ball down, and to take advantage of her chance.
And she made the choice that was going to be a double as soon as she stepped out of the box. When we talked to Coach Tarina earlier in the week, she talked about how they work really hard on that with their players to be able to read the ball even when they're on the bases, but to read the ball off the bat as well.
Strike 3 called on Harris. That's a big second out via the K for McCann because it allows Missouri's infield to back up.
It's a tough drop ball on the inside corner. Abrascato does a great job of kind of bringing that back in, maybe gets her pitcher a strike 3 call.
Avery Hodge takes ball 1. I said it would allow Missouri's infield to back up. In fact, it has not because Hodge is next up, the slapper, so Missouri's going to keep the infield drawn in, but not because of the runner at third, because of the batter in the box. Hodge had the 2-out single in the 6th inning on the infield last night that in the end ignited the 5-run 2-out rally. She was initially called out on a bang-bang play. Beth Torina challenged. Overturned the call. And LSU turned a 4-0 lead into a 9-0 lead. Had that not happened, that challenge in particular, that bottom of the 6th inning would have been very stressful for LSU because Missouri got a run on the board and loaded up the bases. So Mizzou would have had the go-ahead run standing at the plate. Instead, it was relatively stress-free because it was a 9-1 game.
Well, and I thought that Hodge was out at first base when we saw it live, and if you don't make that decision to challenge the call, Torina did a great job with that, but makes a decision to challenge a call and then extends that inning. And then all of a sudden you run rule in the game, and that it just completely changed the outcome of that game.
So Hodge with a walk, and it extends the inning to the top of the order, Jayla Lassiter. It's a costly walk for McCann. Not to take anything away from Hodge, but you'd much rather face the number 9 batter with 1 on than the leadoff batter with 2 on. Just off the corner, 1-1. Lassiter struck out looking, leading off the game. One-two. Lassiter waves and misses. Marissa McCann leaves 2 on for LSU. But the Bayou Bengals get 1 back. Tori Edwards, after her 2-run homer in the 6th inning last night, leads off the 2nd, saying hello to Marissa McCann to put LSU on the board. Already with a pair of 2-out hits and a hit with runners in scoring position today in the 1st inning after they went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position last night and started 0 for 8 in the series.
I would assume it was a point of tension for Larissa Anderson talking to her team last night about, hey, we have to get these timely hits. We have to make sure with 2 outs, we just have to be better at the plate.
Madison Updegrove takes ball 1. 7-8-9 here for Missouri. Kaylee Langer and Claire Cahalan scheduled to follow the Tigers shortstop against E.C. Salura. Three runs in the first for Mizzou, all with 2 outs. to third off a hop. Awkward for Hodge. She made that look very, very easy. One down.
It's a good play by Hodge. It took a very, very weird bounce. That's easily a ball that could definitely just get by you with a weird hop, but Hodge made that play look easy.
Kaylee Langer now. Off the hands. Edwards called off by Daniel too quickly away in the Missouri second. Tomorrow, a great softball doubleheader right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 7 Florida hosts 16th ranked Mississippi State. Game 2 of that series, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Then the series finale between number 11 Georgia and 15th ranked Texas A&M in College Station. Claire Cahalan slaps to third. Avery Hodge is there, and it is a lightning fast second inning. 5 pitches, 3 outs for Sonora. We've played 2 in Como. On number 20 LSU as we move to the third in Columbia. LSU head coach Beth Serena joins us now. Coach, obviously not a smooth first inning for CC Sonora, but what a bounce back in the second. Just 5 pitches to get 3 out.
Yeah, she looks great. I think, that's who she is, right? Just throws us ground balls and shading it. And, I think she's settled in, and hopefully we get a, great day the rest of the way from her.
Coach Tori Edwards, what a phenomenal last 2 plate appearances, even going back to last night. You want to talk about her a little bit?
Yeah, Tori's a special hitter. She did some cool things this week, like trying to just find it and find herself. It's awesome to have players that are so bought in, willing to do whatever it takes for the team. So always proud of Tori Edwards, proud that she wears LSU on her chest. And then, before I go here, I just wanted to say how cool it is to be a part of this game here today, wearing pink for all the women that have battled this. My mom is a breast cancer survivor and an ovarian cancer survivor. So really cool. I know she's watching, my dad's watching. Cool to be a part of this today. And then next week, we'll all be wearing the teal and all for Alex, the whole SEC. If you guys aren't involved yet, please get involved. GEAUXteal.com. You can sign up and walk with us from wherever you are in the country. But really cool to be a part of this game today. Thanks to Missouri for doing it, and proud to represent all the women that have battled.
Coach, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you. Beth
Serena and LSU with 2, 3, and 4 scheduled to bat here in this third inning. And she mentions it, LSU has done so much. I think the entire SEC has bought into the all for Alex and wearing the teal in honor of Alex Wilcox, former Mississippi State softball player who tragically passed away from the disease in 2018. But Beth mentioned her mom, Betty, cancer survivor, and not only did Beth help start the All for Alex initiative in the conference, but she's also part of a committee of women from around the greater Baton Rouge area who founded the Go Teal Ovarian Cancer Awareness Foundation that she mentioned there. That's Go spelled the LSU way, Teal Ovarian Cancer Awareness Foundation. They founded it in 2013. The group holds an annual walk, and they have already raised more than $350,000 for ovarian cancer research since their inaugural year. We talk a lot about using the platform, whether it's players, coaches, anybody else, using the platform provided by this sport or any other for the betterment of society. And Beth Torina and LSU certainly walked that walk.
Well, and how cool, Missouri wearing their pink jerseys and pink socks, and LSU getting in on the game too with the pink belt. I just think it's so cool to kind of show that camaraderie, even though you're competing against each other.
Daniel had a bunt single her first time up in the first inning. Marissa McCann's 1-2 pitch is lifted over shortstop, a base hit. Daniel goes hard around first, but holds up. Pair of singles for Daniel in as many trips today. And to the conversation we had about Bergeron in the second inning, Daniel was coming out of that box with bad intentions.
It's almost like they think we're going to as soon as they get out of the box, and it's so impressive to see because that can cause a lot of chaos on the base paths. You could cause someone to overthrow, or you could maybe draw a throw to first base and get an overthrow and get to second, even if you're not going to second. That chaos and that speed that LSU has, it kind of helps them manufacture a lot of runs.
Kylie Edwards, first pitch swinging. Langer goes back. It is gone. Just as they did last night. Tori and Kylie Edwards go deep again today. And LSU has erased Missouri's lead. It's 3-3. Sixth home run for Kylie Edwards in the last 6 games.
Kylie Edwards is seeing the ball so well right now. She's coming off a really phenomenal series against Oklahoma where she had 3 home runs. And now she's come back. She hit 1 last night, hit another one tonight. She's seeing the ball really well at the plate.
With Tori Edwards, we spent a lot of time on how well she did to get to an inside pitch. This was Kylie Edwards extending and getting to that outside pitch to tie the game at 3. Alex Franklin now the cleanup hitter. Shows you the mental toughness on this LSU team. Can manifest in an individual game or just a couple of innings the way it has today. It's manifested over the course of the last month. This is a team that started 0-5 in the SEC, but they've won 5 of their last 8 conference games after last night. And they pulled themselves back from a 3-0 deficit in the span of just an inning plus.
You mentioned Edwards going out and getting that ball. Her stance kind of is good for that. She's upright and she's stepping into the ball. So you see LSU they're off the plate a lot more. And when we talked to Beth Torina earlier in the week, she mentioned that they're just really smart hitters, and they have learned in this first couple innings, McCann's been working them on the inside corner. They're coming back off the plate, and they're really able to go into that ball when they're loading.
Nice play by Sophie Smith on the ground ball out to Franklin. Also, we should note, there was a lot of wind yesterday. There is some still that is blowing out to right center in this game, but not nearly as much as there was last night. Edwards had to give it a lot of the power. Here's Tori Edwards now. Those two have combined for 4 home runs in 8 1/3 offensive innings for LSU this weekend. And they're keeping pace with each other for the team lead as well. Tori's homer in the first was her 8th, and she had the lead over Kylie for what, half an hour?
If that. I'm not sure it was a half hour. It's nice to have a little inter-squad competition, right? So especially when it's something like that of who can be hitting the most home runs.
Three and 0. In your playing days, maybe it wasn't who could hit the most home runs, but is there a teammate you remember having that kind of friendly rivalry with, whether it was in practice or in games?
I think I was such a different player. I was more of like, I was the one who was trying to steal the bases and trying to make like the defensive plays as opposed to trying to hit the home runs. It wasn't really a power hitter back in my day, but we definitely had that competition, right? You would have the girls who were doing that.
Diplomatic answer. Not what I was looking for. Trying to stir the pot here. Lorenz grounded out to short her first time. Topped over to third. Waits goes to second, but doesn't get the out. Edwards was on the move with a pitch, got a great jump, and Waits just didn't see it. A second bad defensive miscue for Missouri in this game. And now 2 out for LSU.
We talked about the defensive miscue, and really that's a communication thing. Someone has to be talking that Edwards is stealing. That's a definite hit and run. We've seen LSU have multiple hit and runs. Someone has to be talking to Addie Waits at third base to not throw that ball to second base and just take the out at first.
Lorenz still gets an 0 for 1 on that because it goes in the book as a fielder's choice. The umpires are getting together here. Missouri might want a look at the play at second, but it looked pretty clear in real time. Should be noted as well that neither of the miscues we referenced, as we're going to hear from the umpires.
Missouri's challenging the runner on first base leaving early.
Beth Torina, you could hear her, I think, saying 29 and a half. She's saying that Larissa Anderson took too long to challenge that play and that her window of opportunity was way over. She might well have a point there.
So the runner at first can't leave until the ball, her foot cannot leave that base until the ball is out of McCann's hand. It's going to be close.
I'm not sure you can see anything there to overturn.
I'm not sure that you have enough evidence to overturn that call.
Beth Torina challenged 2 plays in the series opener last night. First one was unsuccessful. That was when Jayla Lassiter was hit by the pitch, but the umpires called her back because she had stuck her elbow out.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
She was then successful on the Avery Hodge infield single when she was initially called out. Here's our best look.
That's a good solid lead. She just got down the line very quickly. She was moving on the pitch.
Yeah, we say it's really close. Well, that's the point. Tori Edwards wants it as close as it can be.
Absolutely.
Had she gotten a mediocre jump there, there's a chance Waite still would have nabbed her at second base. So a visit now in the circle with Missouri's entire infield. The point I was going to make before the review is that neither of Missouri's defensive miscues, though both have been significant and cost them outs, will go as errors. For the moment, neither team has an error in this game, but unquestionably, Missouri's defense has cost them 2 outs.
I do think you should be able to add in a mental error because both of those right now have been mental errors on Missouri's part. Cahalan should have let Updegrove field that ground or the fly ball, and someone should have been talking to Addie Waits, whether that's Sophie Smith, whether that's Abby Hay at first. Someone has to be telling that left side of the infield that she's running on the pitch. Maybe it's the dugout. The dugout needs to be talking to their players too.
That's a good point. Missouri's dugout right there on the third base side. So here's Macy Bajeron, who benefited for the first Missouri miscue. Though she deserves tremendous credit for turning that blooper into left into a double. It was her hustle and her awareness in contrasting it against Missouri's lack thereof. That created a scoring opportunity for LSU. Though Bajeron was ultimately stranded at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. So much of a game of responding to adversity. LSU has responded beautifully since Missouri's 3-run first inning. How now will Marissa McCann and Mizzou bounce back? Not only to the 3 LSU runs, but to the frustration of those self-inflicted wounds.
And softball is such a game of momentum. Hits are contagious, so when your teammates are getting hits, everyone has a lot more confidence at the plate. Same on defense. When your pitcher's, throwing lasers and getting really good outs, it's a lot easier. That momentum is so much easier to just build on.
And Beth Torina believes that hits are contagious or anything else can be. She's as superstitious a coach as you'll come across in the SEC. Keeps that jacket on so that the hits stay in, but keeps the zipper a little ways down when batting to let a few of them out. Got to let an appropriate amount out.
Got to let the hits out.
Bergeron stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edwards at second, Lorenz at first, 1 out. McCann's 2-2 again. Off the plate, it's full. Asked Beth Torina this week just about the superstitions, any update, anything new that had crept into the routine. She said no. Bryce Neal, her assistant coach, says superstitions are for losers. But she said, don't worry. She still does them. She just doesn't tell them about
Just keep them to yourself. I think superstitions are a part of the game. I feel like it's baseball, softball, they're just superstition heavy.
Well, it's a fine line, isn't it, between superstition and routine. And routine is such a part of baseball and softball because of all the downtime, the thinking time that can work for you or against you. I assume Bryce Neal is perfectly fine with routine. He just draws that line somewhere between routine and superstition. His head coach draws it a slightly different place. So here's Destiny Harris, the DP. Only 32 at-bats this year. The 32nd was a strikeout her first time up today. It's her first action of the series. And she has a big chance here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Missouri's infield drawn in. Off the hands, Hay is there, and that's a big second out for Mizzou. Avery Hodge. Hodge is the 9th place hitter, but don't let that fool you. She's had 2 plate appearances in this series, a single and a walk, and scored a run last night, the first of 5 that came across with 2 outs in that 6th inning. 2-time national champion during her days at Oklahoma. One. Hodge, base hit. Edwards scores. Lorenz gets a stop sign. Avery Hodge with a second hit of the weekend. And LSU has come from 3-0 down to take a 1-run lead.
Avery Hodge has done such a good job at the plate in her last 3 appearances. She's a slapper. She has a lot of speed, so it brings this Missouri infield in, and then she just does a phenomenal job of hitting this hard line drive right through that 5-6 hole. So that hole right between the third baseman and shortstop, it's an impossible play to defend when you're playing that far in. You have to play that far in because she's so fast.
The first 2-out run for LSU today, but the 8th out of their 13 runs this weekend. 0-2 on Jayla Lassiter. Another look at the opposite field knock for Hodge.
If you're a slapper, that's the perfect pitch you want. You want that ball on the outside half of the plate so you can go the other way with the ball. She does such a good job of barreling that up and getting it through that left side.
Lassiter just got a piece. Obviously, McCann has to be a little bit careful with how she tries to expand the zone here because Lorenz is just 60 feet away and could score on a wild pitch. But at the same time, she'll want to try to get Lassiter to swing at a pitcher's pitch. She does to Smith, and the inning is over. But LSU piles up 3 runs and takes the lead for the first time today. It's Edwards and Edwards doing the damage as it ever was. Kylie Edwards with a 2-run shot. She reties Torrey for the team lead.
An inside look.
We got a lot of game left. We need to show that we're the most excited to play.
We have some really great minds, and we have some really big personalities.
Let's go! Let's go!
Mic'd Up Monday, back at you. Courtney Deifel's turn. Number 6 Arkansas hosting Auburn on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central on the SEC Network. Good appetizer on Monday night. Top of the Missouri lineup in the bottom of this 3rd inning. Addie Waits led off the first with a double. Came in to score the first of 3 Mizzou runs in the 1st inning. LSU has responded with a Tori Edwards solo homer in the 2nd, a Kylie Edwards 2-run homer in the 3rd, and an Avery Hodge 2-out RBI single to put the visitors in front. CC Salora back to work, a 5-pitch inning, 1, 2, 3 in the 2nd. So between that and seeing her offense respond and put her back in front, that'll settle you down after 3 first-inning runs. Left side of the infield, Hodge. And that is 5 in a row retired by Salora since the Abby Carr homer. Feels like an important inning for Missouri. Not a good start to it offensively, but they'll want to see some kind of response because LSU has awoken.
Well, Missouri came out hot out of the gate. They, put up 3 runs in the first inning, and then LSU responded. And as I mentioned before, softball's a game of momentum, and right now LSU has the momentum.
What a smooth play by Kylie Edwards on a softball that had all sorts of spin on it. Right off the cap of the bat of Abriscato, and Edwards made that look very easy.
Abriscato way out in front of that pitch, hits it right off the end of the bat. That ball had crazy spin on it. Edwards does such a good job staying down on it, making the play. She's got a really strong arm, but really the glove work and footwork are what made that play.
No visor, even on a sunny afternoon.
Sometimes visors get in the way. I couldn't play with the visor either because on a fly ball, I felt like I couldn't track the ball as well, and I would always throw it off. So I never played with the visor either, and I think it's very divisive. You either have to have one or you absolutely can't have one.
So what you're saying is you and Kylie Edwards pretty much same player.
No, absolutely not. She's way better.
1 ball, 1 strike on Sydney Forrester. Did you catch, by the way, we didn't talk about this at all last night, but you have 3 boys in the appropriate age range. Did you catch number 67, Kylie Edwards, with the 6-7 celebration coming into home plate after her homer last night?
I did catch that. She also did the same celebration today coming into home plate with the home run. So I'm not sure my children were watching to appreciate that, but I will have to go back and watch the replays.
Yeah, she's given folks plenty of chances to see it, isn't she? 2 home runs already. Wouldn't bet against number 3 as the series goes on. Same story for Tori Edwards on the other side of the LSU infield. 2-2 now on Forrester, who flied to right her first time. Edwards deep in the hole. Not this one. Not this one. What a third inning for Kylie Edwards. A homer in the top half, a highlight reel play out of the hole in the bottom half. It's all LSU.
Hey, sports fans, the ESPN app has all of ESPN all in one place. Visit activate.espn.com to see if you have ESPN Unlimited as part of your TV package for no additional cost. It's all of ESPN all in one place. Sign up or activate now.
The 2 Edwards on the infield for LSU. 4 home runs between them already in a game and a half in this series. They've driven in half a dozen, and Kylie Edwards was flashing the leather in the bottom of that 3rd inning as well for another 1-2-3 frame for CC Salura. Kylie will be due up 2nd in this inning. Tori would bat if anybody gets on base. She's 4th to bat. Sierra Daniel leads off and takes a strike from Marissa McCann, who has been hit pretty hard these last couple of innings, and now she has 2, 3, and 4 scheduled against her. Abby Carr is down in the Missouri bullpen, at least moving around a little bit.
McCann also getting up there in pitch count. She's at 72 now, only in the top of the 4th inning with nobody out. So 72 pitches, while it's not the highest number we're going to see for sure, it is still creeping up there where they're going to have to bring in Carr.
Two balls, one strike on Daniel. Singled in each of her trips. And it sounded like she might have been nicked by that one, but it just snuck past her. High ball 4. Daniel is a leadoff base runner for LSU, looking to extend this 1-run lead. Missouri has made a defensive change. Danielle Blackston takes over in right field. Not atypical for Mizzou to do this when Sydney Forrester makes the last out of an inning, as she did in the 3rd, because it allows for presumably at least 2, maybe even as many as 3 innings of defense before Forrester's spot in the lineup comes up again. Here's Kylie Edwards down the left field line. Didn't get all of it. Cahalan makes the catch. Daniel tags and bluffs. Good play by Cahalan to get the ball in and keep Daniel out of scoring position.
Great job by Cahalan. One, getting over there, making that play in foul territory, then getting the ball in. Daniel is a very aggressive base runner. We've seen it. We saw it last night. We've seen it today. She does a great job of making it look like she's going to go on that and forcing the throw to go through and not letting Updegrove cut that.
Alex Franklin now. She has come up twice today and twice granted out to the second baseman, Sophie Smith. Little bit of additional room over on that right side of the infield here with Smith shading up the middle. Alex Franklin is the SEC leader with 5 triples this year. Drilled into left center. Why a triple when you can have a home run? Alex Franklin goes deep, the 3rd LSU homer in game 2, and it's a half dozen unanswered runs for the Bayou Bengals.
Alex Franklin, you mentioned, not known necessarily for hitting home runs, but she gets all of that ball. She gets it all barrel and just drives this ball so well into that gap over the fence. LSU seeing the ball really well right now.
Just the 3rd home run of Franklin's career. Had her first one the day before Valentine's Day against Duke. Added another in mid-March against Texas A&M. Number 3 makes it a 3-run LSU lead in the 4th inning in Columbia and brings Abby Carr out of the Missouri bullpen. A pitching change, perhaps 3 batters too late. Alex Franklin makes Marissa McCann pay for a mistake, and it's 6-3 LSU. down, Ashley Moore, that Missouri might well have Abby Carr in the circle at some point today. But they were hoping it would be with a lead after they went up 3-0 in the first inning. 6 LSU runs later, Abby Carr has to try to stop the bleeding.
We see Abby Carr come in from the bullpen a lot for this Missouri team. She's only had a couple starts in the circle for Mizzou. She comes in relief because she's such a good counter to Marissa McCann and Sierra Harrison. She's going to throw a changeup, and that's really her go-to pitch. She will throw it in any count. She'll throw it when she's down 3-1 in a count, and if she's able to throw it for a strike, she's really a difficult pitcher to hit well.
Tori Edwards is the first to face her. Home run and a walk so far in game 2. A pair of homers in the series. It was Carr's homer that gave Mizzou a 3-0 lead in the first. Since then, LSU has added a run in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. 5 out of the 6 runs via homers. Tori Edwards first, Kylie Edwards second, Alex Franklin moments ago. And Tori Edwards takes her second walk today.
Abby Carr, she's going to throw in the upper 60s. You're going to see her sit mainly 66, 67. She has a changeup and a backdoor curveball, so she's going to start that in that left-handed batter's box, and she's going to break it over the plate. And then that changeup that I talked about earlier is so deadly. We saw her throw with a 3-0 count against Edwards. She didn't get it as a strike, but she is not afraid to throw that pitch in any situation.
Another issue for Missouri in this series has been the walks. That pitch goes in and out of the mitt of Abrascato and allows Edwards to move to second on what presumably will be a pass ball. Abrascato looking over at the dugout like she had a different sign there than Abby Carr threw. The walk to Edwards a moment ago, the 5th Missouri pitching has issued already today. 2 of the first 4 have come in to score. And of course, LSU's 2 runs scored before that 7-run onslaught in the 6th inning last night, both walks that came in to score.
Well, in an SEC series, you really have to just minimize the mistakes, and walks are a mistake because once you give a free pass and you get that runner on, and it's a lot easier to manufacture runs. It causes a lot of chaos on the base paths. It just puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Charla Rins goes down looking. 2 gone in the 4th inning on Abby Carr's first strikeout. Strikeout number 45 for Carr this season. 52 in the 3rd innings. Walks have been at times a problem for her as well, 31 of them. Off the plate, ball 1 to Bergeron. Bergeron knocked in a run to make it 2-0 LSU last night of the opener. That was in the same situation as this one. 2 outs, runner at second.
Both the Missouri pitchers today, Marissa McCann, Abby Carr, really struggling to find the zone. Seems like there's just a little bit off in the circle out there, not hitting their spots, throwing a lot of pitches.
Back to the circle. Abby Carr handles it cleanly and gets out of the inning without any further damage. But LSU adds 2 more on a 3rd home run for the visitors. We'll visit with Larissa Anderson after this. Lead over Missouri as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Larissa Anderson joins us now. Coach, we're seeing these great images of the stand for signs that both your team and LSU put up down either baseline after the national anthem today before the game. What does it mean to you this day and the involvement of both teams?
I mean, it's honoring and respect of those that are battling breast cancer, that we've lost to breast cancer, and then also bringing awareness. I mean, I got an email from a mom that said, thank you for having your pink day. It allowed me an opportunity to be able to explain to my 2 young daughters what it means.
That's really cool, Coach. Hey, you know, the first inning went really well for your hitters. Not as much success these last couple times through. So what do you want to see from your hitters?
Swinging at good pitches and being on time for what we're swinging at. I mean, we're aggressive early in the count, but we're not on time right now with what we're swinging at. So it's just being on time, know what you're trying to recognize, and swinging at a good pitch.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks, MIZ.
Larissa Anderson and Beth Sarita, you know, both very passionate about the cancer fights that are present as part of all sorts of color days that we observe in the Southeastern Conference throughout the softball community in this league and well beyond it. Cool to hear from both of them about the impacts that their programs, this conference, this sport can have on real life.
Well, you mentioned it with Beth Tarina, but really just using your platform for how can you spread awareness? What can you do when you have this platform? The game of softball is growing so much at such a high rate. There's a lot more eyes on the game that if you can use it to do good, why wouldn't you? And I think this is a testament to both coaches for stepping in and doing that.
4, 5, and 6 for Missouri in this 4th inning. To short for Kylie Edwards. We've talked about LSU's resilience on the offensive side, how their bats responded to going into a 3-0 hole. They've scored 6 runs unanswered. But how about the resilience CC Salora has shown? 23 pitches in the 1st inning, gave up 3 runs. She's thrown 16 pitches since to get 7 outs without allowing a base runner.
She came back and she's been really efficient in the circle in these last 3 innings. Kudos to her a little bit on Missouri for going in and swinging that early in a count. If you know your first 2 hitters get out on 4 pitches, maybe you want to take a few pitches and not necessarily just have her throw 5 pitches in an inning. As a hitter, you really have to step back and know exactly where you are in the game and what that does to your momentum.
Check swing roller back to Salora. And that is 9 in a row retired since Abby Carr's homer back in the 1st. And when that 2-run shot left the ballpark of Abby Carr's bat, made it 3-0 Missouri, the momentum in this park was very significant. It felt like Mizzou could just push their way to evening the series and washing away the bad taste from a run rule loss last night. But LSU on both sides of the ball has ensured that that does not happen.
Missouri came out of the gate hot. They really had something to prove after the game last night. Their hitters did a great job at the plate. Marissa McCann had a great first inning, but kudos to LSU. They responded the very next inning. They didn't tie it the next inning, but they scored one, and then you just kind of creep back. Softball is a grind, and you just have to keep going inning by inning, pitch by pitch.
Smith into right, Franklin there. 10 straight retired by Salura, and proving you can do it in very different ways. Jaden Huebner, 11 strikeouts last night. Salura doesn't have one yet, but who cares? She's up 3. Anticipated top 5 matchup this week in the SEC. Texas said take your anticipation and stick it. 9-1 over Alabama. A couple of home runs for good in the ball game. Meanwhile, Tennessee, Carlin Pickens with 4 strikeouts. More importantly, her AUSL golden tickets. And Texas A&M with a dramatic victory over number 11 Georgia. Always going to be some close ones in the SEC. And A&M and Georgia obliged in their top 15 battle a night ago. We had a 9-1 LSU victory in 6 innings in the opener last night. It's a 6-3 lead for the visitors as we move to the 5th inning today. Strike one on Maddox McKee, pinch hitter getting her first chance of the weekend. She's had 23 at-bats this year, .261 hitter. She's stepping into the number 8 spot. So technically, I suppose she's not a pinch hitter because that's the DP, Destiny Harris. So she just slots right in as the DP. Missouri scored the first 3 runs in this inning, or rather in this game. LSU has scored the last 6. Off speed low, 2-1. McKee with a bunt foul. Not surprising that Beth Torina would recruit Maddox McKee, because if Maddox does well in a game, she absolutely has to have her hair done the same way for the next game and has to eat all the same things. So they are 2 peas in a pod.
That sounds like a routine, though. That's just a routine of how you do your hair. It's a routine of what you're eating before you go play. You could easily have it either way.
Strike 3 on McKee. I wish we had thought of this during the call with Beth Torina, because we could have armed her with some ammunition to use against Bryce Neal, her assistant coach.
That's right. I find it very odd if you're not a superstitious person and you play softball, because I feel like there's so many little quirks that you have that you just kind of gain throughout the years.
Here's Avery Hodge, the number 9 batter. Bunts it fouled off Abriscato. Hodge has come to the plate 3 times this weekend. She has 2 singles and a walk. She has scored a run and driven in another.
Hodge has been so successful at the plate for LSU in this series. She's so fast, and LSU has so many quick runners. They can cause so much chaos. You saw McKee was trying to bunt for a hit, and the at bat here before Hodge, and Hodge is a slapper. Lassiter moves quickly as the leadoff hitter. We've seen Sierra Daniel bunt for a hit, and then you have Kylie and Tori Edwards who can come through, and they just have so much pop in their bat that they are just a deadly lineup.
And Hodge, remember, didn't have a base hit since mid-March before last night. She had been 0 for 17 over the last couple of weeks before getting her chance off the bench in the opener. And she has come through in a big way.
Maybe she changed up some of her routine.
Must be. Check swing. Did not go. 3 balls and a strike. Some of the Missouri fans who were here last night, maybe with a little residual discontent. Check swings were a point of significant contention in the 6th inning. A surprisingly contentious bottom of the 6th, considering it was a 9-0 game at that point. 3 balls and a strike. Still nobody can solve Avery Hodge. 4 times at the plate, 4 times on base in the series. Tomorrow, Ole Miss and number 21 Florida finish their 3-game baseball series in Gainesville, and we'll have it for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Speaking of SEC Network, tomorrow, the finale of this series, 2:30 Central Time. As it stands, LSU would be looking for a sweep. Top of the order, Jayla Lassiter. Chopper to Updegrove, had to go down to get a false hop that was low and did it well. She gets the lead runner, Hodge. That could have easily slipped through the wickets.
It's a good job of adjusting on the fly for Updegrove there. She gets there and gets set, and then just has such good glove work. She's able to make that play. She has to sling that ball pretty hard to Sophie Smith to get Hodge at second base. Again, LSU is so good on the base paths, just moving down the line really quickly.
Lassiter officially now 0 out of 4. She reaches on the fielder's choice, and it brings in Sierra Daniel. Daniel is 2 for 2 with a walk. She has scored 2 runs. Missouri trying to put a goose egg on the top half of the scoreboard for the first time since the 1st inning. LSU has followed that with a run in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Into left center, it splits the gap. Lassiter on her horse. Around third, she will score. An RBI double for Sierra Daniel. More clutch 2-out hitting for LSU. And it's 7 straight runs for the visitors.
Sierra Daniel has had such a good series, and she's been doing it both ways, right? So she's bunted for a hit. She hits a gap here with this outside pitch. by Abby Carr. A little too much over the plate. See, Abriscato was set up on the outside corner, and that ball just hits too far over the plate. And with this LSU lineup, you cannot miss by that much.
Look at those numbers for 2 through 5 in the LSU lineup. Reached 9 out of 13 trips. It's an on-base percentage north of 700. And they've added all 3 of the LSU homers. Tori Edwards in the second, Kylie Edwards in the third, Alex Franklin in the fourth. And Larissa Anderson out of the Missouri dugout. LSU with a chance to do something they have not done this year, which is clinch a series in 2 games. Because last night was their first win in a series opener in the SEC this season. They had been 0-4. Looking for what would be just their second series win in the league. But in some ways, that belies how well they have been playing since the 0-5 start. It would be their 6th win in their last 9 games in the SEC. Missouri with Stirring in the bullpen. Two balls, no strikes on Kylie Edwards. Edwards thought she had a walk. Informed by Carlos Guzman that is not the case. Her 3rd inning home run sandwiched by a 1st inning fly to center. 4th inning fly out down the left field line. Still a full count on Kylie Edwards. Carr's second payoff. Hard hit. Up the Grove, spears it on the dive. No play, but it holds Daniel at second base. Infield single for Edwards, her 2nd hit today. Nonetheless, a valuable play by Updegrove.
It's a great at-bat by Edwards. She's up in the count 3-0, works it back to 3-2. It's a really hard ground ball in that hole. Updegrove does such a great job keeping it on the dirt, saving that Daniels from going to third base, and she's still in scoring position, but she's not 60 feet away. She's still got a little bit further to go.
I don't know if that's what Kylie Edwards was referencing when we just saw her clap her hands and point out at Sierra Daniel at second, but that was elite base running again by Daniel.
It was. She could have easily gone on the swing, and you have 2 outs, and Updegrove makes that play, and then she's able to get you with the you're going to have to tag her at third because it's not a force out, but just a very good base running again by LSU.
Shows you how you can combine the aggression with which LSU runs the bases with intelligence, because she was still out there on her front foot. She had her good secondary. She even took another couple of steps when she thought it was going to get by Updegrove, and she had time to scramble back. It's easy to point it out when it leads to runs, like it did for Daniel in the very 1st inning of the series opener, but those are the building blocks that create the runs.
Well, and just, Beth Torino talked about how much they work on it and how much she teaches her team about base running, and it can make a huge difference in games.
Three balls, one strike on Franklin, who has grounded out twice to second, that homered her last time in the fourth. Bases loaded, and Tori Edwards gets her chance.
Abby Carr really laboring out there. She's throwing a lot of pitches. It's not something you normally see from her. She has had a lot of walks early in the season. The past few outings she's had, she's been really efficient out there in the circle. She's really missing her spots and having to labor out through that.
Carr has walked 3. She's thrown 42 pitches to record 4 outs. And only 18 of those 42 pitches have been strikes. And now she has Tori Edwards, who had a solo homer in the second, has since walked twice. And there is nowhere to put her. Generous strike. All-American a year ago when she had 18 homers. Out in front, 1-2. Slugged over 800 in 2025. Has not hit at the same pace the first half of this year, but boy, has she come alive in this series. Carr's 1-2. Strike 3 call. Not an easy inning and 2/3 for Abby Carr, but she bears down to leave the bases loaded and keep Mizzou within 4. Five batters, including a 2-run homer by Abby Carr. It was 3-0 Mizzou after 1. In the second inning, LSU started to climb back. Tori Edwards with her 8th home run of the season, her 2nd of the series. In the third, not to be outdone, Kylie Edwards, her 8th of the season, her 2nd of the series. That made it 3-3. Avery Hodge gave LSU the lead with a 2-out RBI single. Alex Franklin with a 2-run homer in the 4th, and LSU added 1 more in the 5th. It's a 7-3 lead for the visitors, closing in on a series-clinching win as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning in Columbia. And Madison Updegrove fouls away the first pitch from CeCe Salora, who since allowing those 3 hits in the first 5 Missouri batters has retired 10 straight.
she's been so impressive. After the first inning, she's come back. She's been very efficient in the circle. She hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. She's thrown a lot of strikes. She's getting Missouri to hit it early in the count, and they're not on time. As we heard Coach Anderson earlier in the game, they haven't been on time. They're not having good pitch selection, and she's just been so impressive since that first inning.
She's relied as well on very good defense from LSU. Up to Grove, up the middle, a base hit. Missouri's first base runner since the opening inning. Talked a little bit about it in the opener, that LSU's defense was quite good, albeit in limited opportunities, because Huebner struck out 11 of the 18 outs. Get another look at Up to Grove taking it back up the middle. Been the opposite story today. All 12 Missouri outs have been recorded on the field rather than via the strikeout, and the defense has been up to the task.
Well, the defense, LSU's defense has made all the routine plays, but Edwards out at shortstop has made a couple of just phenomenal plays that have really secured, just keeping Missouri off the base paths.
This would ordinarily be Kaylee Langer in the number 8 spot for Missouri. Sanaya Hill will pinch hit. Redshirt freshman out of Texas. Big cut, 0-2. .32 at bats this year. First chance this weekend. Back to Salora. She'll go the sure way to first. Up to Grove moves up into scoring position. Hill is retired.
Kaylee Langer wasn't seeing the ball very well at the plate. Coach Anderson trying to bring in Sanaya Hill, trying to bring in kids off the bench to give them a shot, to give them some sort of momentum, see if they can kind of turn the tide here.
So now Claire Cahalan. Bunt back to the circle. Salora to the second baseman. Daniel covering, and they get Cahalan by a step. Up to Grove to third, but LSU will take that trade with a 4-run lead, and now only 7 outs from clinching the series.
We talked about the defense behind Salula, but really she's done a fantastic job of feeling her position these last 2 at-bats.
Turns out the defense behind CC is CC herself. Top of the order in Addie Waite's schedule, that Beth Arena is going to have a quick chat with Salora first. I want to be clear when I make this point that I'm not suggesting giving up 3 runs and striking out nobody is in any objective sense more impressive than 1 run and striking out 11 like Huebner did last night. But I do think there's something real to be said for giving up 3 runs in the first 5 batters of the game, collecting oneself mentally, and executing the way Salora has since.
Well, and I think that's what's been so impressive. Really, she's a junior. She has a lot of experience in the circle, and I think that's showing right now, that she's able to calm herself down of like, okay, I have to trust in my offense to come out and get me back in the game. I gave up 3. She came back out that next inning, threw 5 pitches and got 3 outs. That just shows how strong she is mentally.
Because I'm just telling you, not that I would be qualified to throw even 1 pitch in the SEC, but if I gave up 3 runs in 5 batters, I would be so cooked, you wouldn't be able to use me the rest of the game, maybe not the rest of the weekend. I'd be done.
Well, I think that's why they get paid the big bucks in the SEC, right?
Ain't that the truth? Up to Grove at third, 2 outs. And Addie Waite's the batter. She had a double and scored the first run for Mizzou back in the opening frame. Popped up to the third baseman Hodge in the 3rd inning.
Would you talk about that mental aspect of the game? And I think it's so important. It's something that is talked about a lot more now than it used to be. Back when I played, we didn't really necessarily talk about the mental aspect of the game. You just went out and did it, and you knew kids were mentally tough, but you didn't talk about it as much as you do now. Now we have mental health performance coaches. You can be able to talk about it, and you can work through it and get better at it. And I think that's what's so impressive with some of these big-time SEC softball players, with all of these eyes on the game and how much they're seeing on social media and how much people are paying attention to it, that it can get harder with how much more popular the game is.
2 balls and a strike. Inside 3-1, it sneaks away. Here comes Updegrove, and she will score. Missouri has had defensive miscues of plenty. LSU very few, but Mizzou takes advantage of a rare LSU mistake.
Updegrove doesn't get a great jump on that pass ball. It's kind of hidden by Addie Waits there in the left-handed batter's box, but does a great job of getting in there, getting the run. That's a big run. They haven't seen a lot of success since that first inning, so to get another one across is huge.
Especially with Waits then grounding out of the very next pitch. So Mizzou will take the run, 7-4 to the 6th.
ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. All out-of-market games live or on demand all in one place.
Run lead has been trimmed to 3, but still a significant advantage for the number 20 team in the country, now 6 outs away from clinching a series victory. And they still have a couple of opportunities to extend the lead, which they have been all too happy to do today. 7 straight runs from the top of the 2nd to the top of the 5th. Nate Gatter, Ashley Moore, our entire SEC Network crew, led by producer Shea Person, with you from Columbia. Char Lorenz to lead off for LSU, followed by Macy Bergeron and Maddox McKee, if McKee holds in that number 8 spot. Lorenz 0 for 3, did reach once on a fielder's choice. Abby Carr has been going early and often to that off speed, trying to keep LSU off balance. It's been a little bit erratic in this appearance out of Missouri's bullpen.
Not a normal outing from Abby Carr. She does throw her changeup a lot. She's going to, if she's throwing it for strikes, it's really deadly because then it does throw the hitters off in the box. They're off balance. They have to be looking for it, so they don't know if she's going to get, you know, if they're going to get the 65-mile-per-hour rise ball or if they're going to get this 52-mile-per-hour curveball or changeup, and she just cannot seem to locate that for a strike.
Fewer than half of her pitches have been strikes. And it's a leadoff 4-pitch walk to Lorenz.
Coach Anderson's been out to talk to her pitchers a lot this game. She's been out there asking them, what are you liking? Like, what's feeling off? How can we work through this?
Third time in 6 innings, LSU has had the leadoff batter aboard. Each of the prior 2, that leadoff batter has come around to score. Though one of those was Tori Edwards, who scored herself on the homer. Natalie Touche out of the bullpen for Mizzou. Abby Carr takes a seat. Tiger Natalie Touche takes over in the circle with Mizzou down by 3 in the 6th. What are we looking for from her, Ashley?
Right now, Missouri needs their pitchers to throw strikes. So Larissa Anderson's going to bring out Natalie Touche. She throws a lot of strikes. You see her ERAs up there. She's really going to throw a lot of drop balls. She's going to work down in the zone. She's going to try and use her off speed. And really, she just needs to, establish herself early, and she needs to get ahead in the count.
Macy Bergeron, the first to face her. Bergeron has doubled, walked, and bounced back to the circle. Charla Rins is at first base. Lorenz got a 4-pitch walk. The 4th issued by Abby Carr in her relief stint, and the 8th by Missouri pitching in 5+ innings. Outside corner for a strike. Bergeron, I don't think, cared too much for that call.
Umpires have heard it from the fans. They've heard it from the players. They've just heard it all around.
But she's a veteran catcher with a 3-run lead and 6 outs to get, so she knows better than to make an enemy.
You got to keep the umpires on your side.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Softly into center, passed up to Grove, a base hit. Second today for Bergeron. And LSU has 2 on with nobody out.
Really great at bat by Bergeron after getting a strike call she didn't agree with. She comes back and gets this little bloop hit right over Updegrove's glove. It's a really impressive at bat because Touche is a lot different pitcher than Abby Carr or Marissa McCann. She's going to sit low to mid 60s, and that's just a much different look for these LSU hitters.
Here's Maddox McKee. McKee struck out looking in the 5th, her first chance today. Bunted foul 0-2. For Bergeron, by the way, it's just her 3rd multi-hit game of the year and her 1st since the SEC opener against Tennessee on Rocky Top the 6th of March. McKee turns on it, foul past the diving Abby Hay.
Just foul. Abby Hay does a good job trying to lay out for that one, but that ball was just foul.
That Lyman's fair. Lorenz around 3rd. She scores. An RBI single for Maddox McKee, and it's 8-4 LSU.
Maddox McKee does a great job keeping her hands inside the ball and hitting this line drive just past Abby Hayes' glove. Blackson out there in right field makes a good throw, not in time. They weren't going to get Lorenz anyways, but that ball gets past Abrascato. That could have been a lot worse for Missouri than it was.
McKee has not had a lot of opportunity. This is her first appearance since she came in as a pinch runner against Oklahoma. Her first at bats today in 2 weeks. She last hit against South Carolina a couple of weeks ago. She had a nice game March the 21st against the Gamecocks. Had a couple of hits and 3 RBIs, including a triple. Comes through with an RBI single and moves up to 2nd on the throw. And it looks like LSU is going to make some kind of substitution here, but took a little while for everybody to get on the same page. Appears to be a pinch runner. They're getting ready. Jada Phillips. And I wonder if Phillips was down in the bullpen and they had to pull her down and get a helmet on her and explain to her the situation.
Phillips was down there in the bullpen. She was trying to get the pitchers warm and had to come in, and learn the situation in general, but also just change out the helmet. You can't wear the catcher's helmet when you go into pinch run.
I mean, if you wanted.
It might slow you down a little bit.
Could be fun, though. 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Avery Hodge takes ball 1, and she has been a literally impossible out so far in this series. 2 hits, 2 walks.
Well, we've talked about the power of Kylie Edwards and Tori Edwards, but really, Avery Hodge has been so impressive. She's kind of been a spark plug for this LSU offense. She's been impossible to get out, as you mentioned, and she's had very timely hits with runners in scoring position.
And, of course, LSU threatening now in the top of the 6th to do the same thing they did in the top of the 6th last night, which is stretch this lead out. To short, great jump for Phillips. Hodge is thrown out, but drives in a second run today. Phillips was halfway home by the time that ball found a glove.
Again, we've talked about it all game, but LSU has been phenomenal on the base pass. Phillips got such a great jump. Updegrove, I don't think, would have been able to make that play at home anyway with how her body had to go towards first. You see this slap. Updegrove made a phenomenal play to get Hodge at first base, but no shot at getting Phillips at home.
Lassiter now. Outside corner for a strike.
Avery Hodge hitting in that 9 spot. When your number 9 hitter can runs and she can get on base, that is, as a coach, you love it because then you know that you're going to have production from the top and middle half of your lineup.
Light tower power. Look out below. Jayla Lassiter, a 2-run shot. The 4th LSU homer. And they have opened it up wide, 11-4.
There must be something about this 6th inning for LSU because last night is when they did the most damage. They are coming out swinging in the top half of the 6th inning today, and they are making these Missouri pitchers pay when they're leaving the ball over the plate.
Talking about the benefits of a number 9 hitter who can generate offense, especially so when your leadoff hitter can go 250 down the left field line.
That ball was a no-doubter for sure.
Here's Sierra Daniel. Home run number 6 for Lassiter this year. LSU still needs 1 more run in this inning to open up the potential of a second straight 6-inning run rule. A rocket to Abby Hay. Unlucky for Daniel. She tattooed it right at Abby Hay. Jayla Lassiter would say, how about a little launch angle on that? That's the solution. No defenders out of the left field berm.
That's not a terrible pitch by Touche. She keeps it down in the zone, but Lassiter goes down and gets it and just absolutely destroys that ball. She has a lot of power in that little body frame and just manages to get extended and barrels that ball up really well.
Here's Kylie Edwards. Hit the 2nd of the 4 LSU homers. Tori Edwards, Kylie Edwards, Alex Franklin, and Jayla Lassiter. LSU has scored in 5 consecutive innings. Down the left field line, fair ball into the corner. Extra bases again for Kylie Edwards. Her 3rd hit, her 2nd for extra bags. And LSU has a potential 8-run lead in scoring position.
Kylie Edwards has so much pop in her bat. This inside pitch from Touche, she just takes it and ropes it down the line. She's been impressive all over the field today. She's made a couple phenomenal plays out of shortstop. She's hitting the ball so well, runs bases really well. She's just really had a phenomenal series against Mizzou.
Now Alex Franklin, who has a homer and a walk. "13 LSU hits. To Updegrove. And Missouri out of the inning. LSU scores 4 more sixth-inning runs after 7 in the sixth inning last night. They've had 12 innings of offense in this series. They've piled up 20 runs. None prettier than Jayla Lassiter's homer out to left. Different ways. 11 strikeouts for Huebner last night. CC Salora does not have a strikeout in this game. But the dominance has been comparable, at least at times. 8 straight to start the game for Huebner, 10 straight for Salora after Missouri's 3-run start.
Huebner was so impressive from the get-go last night. Mizzou had a really hard time with her the entire first time through the lineup, but Cece out there in the circle today has recovered so well after the first inning. To your point that we talked about last inning, almost more impressive to be able to bounce back after a rough first inning and be able to shut down the Missouri offense.
Saw the graphic on those total pitches popping off the scoreboard. Almost 3 times as many pitches required of Missouri as LSU.
LSU has been really efficient out there. Cerullo is, Cece is out there. She's getting ahead of hitters. And not only that, Missouri's been very aggressive at the plate, so they're also swinging at pitches that maybe aren't their pitches. They're a little bit out of the zone. They're not on time. Abriscato last at bat, she hit one off the end of the bat. She was so far out in front, so they haven't done a good job of staying balanced in the box.
Abriscato skies it into shallow right. Franklin the call and the catch. SEC Equestrian Championship 2-hour best of coming up on Monday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. In case you missed it, all the top moments from the Auburn University Equestrian Center right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. One down, here's Sydney Forrester re-entering the game after she was replaced on defense the last few frames by Danielle Blackson in right. Forrester tried to hold up, could not. Probably didn't matter anyway. She has fly to right and grounded out to short.
That last pitch, Sid Forrester's ahead in the count 2-0. If she's not looking for a changeup, she can't go on that. That's what Larissa Anderson's talking about being on time. You have to be looking for your pitch. If you're looking for a changeup, you can sit back on that. But if you're not looking for a changeup and you're ahead in the count, you got to let that pitch go, even if it is called for a strike. You only have to swing at that when you have 2 strikes if you're not looking at it.
So Laura comes back from down 2-0 with the count for her first strikeout today.
Comes back with another changeup, and Sid Forrester just not back enough to sit back and make contact with that pitch. That's a great strikeout pitch.
Ball 1 on Abby Hay. A single to drive in a run back in the first inning. The first of 3 in the opening 5 batters for Missouri. Grounded to short her last time in the 4th. Since those 3 first inning runs for Mizzou, 11 of the next 12 runs have gone to LSU. Ball 4. That's the first walk for Salora, in contrast to the Missouri pitching staff that has piled up 8 walks. Certain symmetry in Salora going 5 2/3 without either a strikeout or a walk, and then getting her first of each back-to-back. Mizzou will lift Abby Hay for a pinch runner. Avery Adcock takes over at first base. Abby Carr homered in the first inning. It's that one high, but not as deep. And Lassiter there to retire the side. 7th inning we go. LSU by 7. LSU has scored in the last 5 straight innings to go from 3-0 down after 1 to 11-4 up after 6. Seventh inning coming up. 5, 6, and 7 scheduled for LSU. And Riley Mahalik will come out of the Missouri bullpen. Fourth hurler the hometown Tigers have used.
Missouri normally waits for Sundays or the third game of a series. It'll be Saturday this week, but they normally wait for that third game in the series to kind of do a pitch by committee. But Missouri pitchers have really struggled today finding the zone. McCann didn't last as long as she normally does. Abby Carr didn't have it out there like she normally does. Natalie Touche got roughed up a little bit in the last inning. So Larissa Anderson just doing everything she can right now to do a little pitch by committee to see if her team can rally in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Two 2-0 on Tori Edwards. 1 for 2 with a solo homer and a pair of walks. Mahalik, a transfer from Houston. Just her 7th appearance of the year. 6 2/3 innings. She has struck out 2, walked 9. Ball 4 to Tori Edwards. She draws her 3rd walk.
This is something that has plagued this Missouri pitching staff today. They've walked the leadoff hitter a lot. That first runner, or that first batter, has gotten on base a lot for LSU. And again, LSU is so deadly on the base paths that they keep running and puts a lot of pressure on this Missouri defense.
It's the 4th time Missouri has walked Edwards in the series. In fact, she's had as many walks as she's had official at-bats. She has 2 home runs in 4 at-bats, and she has 4 walks. Saw Addie Kohler, the new right fielder. Typically, she's the first right fielder to come in for Sydney Forrester. Danielle Blackson was the first choice today, and Kohler the second. Which indicates, for what it's worth, if Missouri were to have some dramatic comeback to force additional softball or even to bring up Forrester's spot in the bottom of the 7th inning, she will not be able to re-enter.
Addie Kohler would have to take over that spot in the lineup, or Larissa Anderson would have to use a DH off the a pinch hitter, off the bench, which would then take Addie Kohler out of the game also because she came in as a sub. So if you come in as a sub, you get pulled once, you can't re-enter.
Lorenz has a walk today. She is hitless still in this series, 0 for 6. And she takes her 2nd walk. So 2 on, nobody out. And of course, even if LSU extends this lead to 8 innings, or rather to 8 runs, Missouri will still have to bat in the bottom of the 7th no matter what. So Mizzou is going to have to find some way to get 3 outs here.
See 10 walks today. That is never going to be good for your defense if your pitching staff has 10 walks in a game. These Missouri pitchers just had a tough time finding the zone today.
Macy Bergeron now. Pair of hits and a walk. She has 3 hits in the series. To short. Updegrove can't make the play. Edwards, fortunately for Missouri, was already sliding into 3rd. Otherwise, she would have been able to come home and capitalize on what will likely be an error charged to Updegrove.
See, Updegrove kind of sits back trying to get the second hop of this ground ball, and it just gets right underneath her glove. Maybe rushed a little bit too much trying to get the runner at third, thinking she had the first out.
To second, Smith thought about coming home, instead goes to first when they could have forced Bergeron easy as you like at second base, though it's lucky for Missouri that Smith didn't go that way because Updegrove just didn't cover the bag. This has been not a defensive performance to put in the scrapbook from Missouri today.
You know, there's 2 errors on the board, but there's been a lot of defensive miscues. There's been a lot of communication. She could have just tagged the runner and gotten a double play.
One ball, no strikes on Avery Hodge. It's now 12-4 LSU. Missouri's had 2 errors in the game, but that's the third other significant mistake on the defensive side of the ball that won't go as an error.
This is not typical of this Missouri defense either. They came into this series number 2 in the SEC in fielding percentage. They were very tough defensively, made all the routine plays and made some exceptional ones as well. But really the table has flipped, and LSU has been the one making the routine plays and some of these exceptional plays.
The walks are also rather atypical for Missouri. As a staff, they had 109 walks coming into this game over 39 outings. That's about 2.8 walks per game. They have 11 walks today. Roughly quadruple what is typical. Combine that with 2 errors and 3 should-be errors. Back to the circle, home for 1. And Abrascato either wasn't confident she had her foot on the plate or didn't know she had a force. There was a chance for a double play there. Wouldn't have been easy to pull off. But Abrascato, perhaps charitably, was not confident she had secured the force out and wanted to make sure she got it on the tag.
You're right, and we don't know which one it was. Mahalik, this ball was hit pretty hard right back at her. She does a good job.
But she has the force.
She has the force. I think Abrascato thought she pulled her foot off, because you can see she kind of bobbled that ball, and then she goes back and she tags the runner just to make sure that they got it.
So Mizzou at least avoids conceding a 13th run, but the inning continues to Sierra Daniel, who has been excellent. Fisted into center, that'll score 2 more. Bergeron and Hodge come home. A 4-hit day for Sierra Daniel and a 10-run lead for LSU.
Now batting, shortstop number 67.
Daniel has found her way on base a lot this game. She's done such a good job at the plate. She's bunted for a hit. She's had a couple bloopers, then just really did a great job staying inside that ball and driving it back up the middle. Gets another couple RBIs added to her.
Kylie Edwards takes a strike. Sierra Daniels' 127th LSU game. The first time she's had 4 hits. It's the 5th game in which she's had at least 3 hits, but a new career high with 4 knocks. And that's after she was 2 for 3 with a walk and a couple of RBIs in the opener last night. Edwards off the end of the bat into right center. Extra bases for a 3rd time today for Kylie Edwards. Lassiter scores. Daniel scores. It's Kylie Edwards into 3rd. A cycle for Kylie Edwards. A homer in the 3rd, a single in the 5th, a double in the 6th, and a triple in the 7th. It's all coming up Kylie today.
How impressive is that, that you need 1 hit for the cycle and it's a triple in the top of the 7th? I think that is so impressive. That's the hardest one to get, and she comes through drives the ball to the only part of the ballpark that you can get a triple in softball. If she drives that to the left side of the field, you can't get a triple, but she does a phenomenal job getting around the bases and getting the cycle.
Not only her first cycle, her first career 4-hit game as well. So Daniel and Edwards back-to-back with career-high 4-hit games, and Edwards makes it a cycle for the first time.
LSU, this offense has just exploded for them. They have gotten better as the game has gone on.
LSU piling it on. 12-run lead. Break on the field. First cycle in the history of LSU softball, and she finishes it with a 7th-inning triple. How many times does a kid come to the plate and you say, triple away from the cycle? It's almost a broadcaster cliche how often you say triple away from the cycle and nobody ever gets it. Kylie Edwards did.
First one in program history. You got to do it in an exciting fashion, right? You need the triple. She's very fast on the base pass. She does a great job driving it to the opposite field.
They've played softball at LSU since 1979. 46 years. First cycle from Kylie Edwards. Courtney Donahue is in for the second straight game for Missouri. She pitched the lion's share of that 6th inning that got away from the Tigers last night. LSU has piled up 25 runs in 13 offensive innings. They've scored in all but the first inning today. 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 4 in the sixth, and 5 in the seventh. Carlos Guzman, the home plate umpire, took a shot back in our first inning, and he gets another one off a foul tip now in the 7th. You can see the wrap around his right wrist. That's where the first one got him. And he had a big old welt that swelled up in a matter of just minutes after he took that tip early on.
He's been beat up behind the plate a little bit today, but those are 2 really tough foul tips to take. It's going to make you a little gun shy.
Kylie Edwards kind of taking the shine from Sierra Daniel, too, who had her career-high 4-hit game, a batter before. Normally that would hold up for a while. Bouncer to second, taken by Smith. Edwards will score. Franklin is retired. The run will not count on the 3rd out of the inning. LSU scores 5 more. It's a 12-run lead. Not only is Kylie Edwards the first LSU Tiger ever in 46 years to hit for the cycle, she's the first in 5 years to have 10 total bases in a game. The last to do it was Taylor Pleasance, who's in the LSU dugout as an assistant coach. She did it in February of 2021 against Liberty. Part of a decorated career for the Fighting Tigers in Baton Rouge. One that has extended as a GA last year and now an assistant coach this year. And Kylie Edwards with a triple in the 7th inning, and she knew it all the way. She was busted out of the box. She had to find her way to third base.
She was going to make them throw her out at third base.
Smith retired by Edwards to open the 7th inning. Home run, double, single, triple. Who gets the shine? Who gets the post-game interview? Who gets the highlight in the Open tomorrow when we're on SEC Network at 2:30 for the finale? 2:30 Central Time, that is, 3:30 Eastern.
You could pick from pretty much anyone in this LSU lineup right now to be the player of the game, to come and talk after the game with the big interview. Everybody's trying to upstage each other. We talked about that earlier in the game. Competition among the team and who's going to do what. And it has been all LSU today.
Gracie Britton pinch hitting for Mizzou. She had a walk and the only RBI for the hosts last night. Bases loaded, free pass in the 6th inning. This entire LSU team has showed up today. And it's after Mizzou had a 3-0 lead. That feels like it was about a week ago.
Well, Mizzou did respond in that first inning from what Larissa Anderson wanted them to do. From last night to the first inning, they did exactly what they needed to do. They came out, they struck early, they were very successful at the plate in that first inning. And then since that first inning, it has been all LSU, offense and defense.
Britton draws another walk. She's come to the plate 10 times. Well, I should say 11 as a collegiate softball player. 4 walks and a hit by pitch. And she'll be lifted for a pinch runner. 8 different Bayou Bengals have base hits in the game. Sierra Daniel and Kylie Edwards have 4 apiece, career high for each. Daniel added a walk. The number 1, 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Jayla Lassiter, Kylie Edwards, Alex Franklin, and Tori Edwards, all have home runs. Kaylee Langer, the batter. Could not hold up, 0-2. As there have been plenty of what would ordinarily be unsung heroes as well for LSU, but they get completely lost when the Stars play the way they have. Macy Bajeron behind the plate, a couple of hits, including a double. She has drawn a walk. Avery Hodge over at third. A hit and 3 walks. She's knocked in 2. CeCe Salora has been very good. But Kylie Edwards, Tori Edwards, Sierra Daniel, and maybe Jayla Lassiter as well off that bomb out to left field, stealing the shine in this one. And we will chat with the LSU shortstop after the game. Out of the hole. Not quite. That was a bridge too far, even for Kylie today. Don't forget as well, she had that defensive highlight in the middle innings to take away a base hit in the hole from Sydney Forrester on a similar play to that one, although she had to throw all the way to first.
Well, even on this play, she makes it look easy that she gets to this ball. That is not an easy play. That ball is way far over. She's got to cover a lot of ground to even get to that ball. Still almost gets the out at second base. She covers a lot of ground out there at shortstop.
How about the way she used her momentum, too? The way her body was already taking her to spin away from the infield, spin on the outfield side to get her feet set there to throw it. So 2 on with 1 out. Infield single for Langer. And Nevaeh Watkins is the pinch hitter for Mizzou. Watkins very late, 1-1. Just her 12th appearance this year. A hit and a walk in 9 trips to the plate.
Little pitcher-catcher conference trying just to say, hey, we got you. We got a big lead. Let's just go in there and finish this out.
Bergeron's drawn some serious smiles and giggles out there in the circle. Wonder what her joke was. You know, catcher's always got to have a couple of good lines in the back pocket, especially a senior like Macy Bergeron. Maybe it was take a look out of that scoreboard. Were you putting any pressure on yourself for?
Right. We don't need to be too perfect here.
Not only do we got your back now, we've already had it. I don't know if you noticed, but we scored 16 runs the last 6 innings. Full count on Watkins, whose only hit came all the way back on the 2nd day of the season, February the 7th against BYU, though she has had limited chances since. Strikeout for Salora, her 2nd, 2 gone in the 7th inning.
The batter, third baseman, number 34, Patty Waits.
This is a great strikeout pitch. She set up Watkins before she came inside a bunch, and then CC comes back with this outside curveball just to get this swing and miss, gets Watkins chasing a little bit.
Ball 1 to Addie Waits. What possible message is there for Larissa Anderson to deliver after this game, knowing that her team has been outscored 25-5 in 2 games in this series, but that every game has value for them, and if they can find a way to bounce back and win the game tomorrow, even if it won't win a series, it still has worth.
Well, they're coming off a really great Auburn series where they swept them. She needs to come out. She needs to see her team compete. Right now, it feels like in the later half of this game, it doesn't feel like they're competing. They're not doing the little things well, and she's really got to see them flip a switch tomorrow.
All LSU after the first inning today. 16 runs over the last 6 innings. Kylie Edwards with a cycle. Tori Edwards with another homer. CC Salora goes the distance. And the Fighting Tigers of LSU clinch the series with a 16-4 win over Missouri. They'll go for a sweep on the SEC Network tomorrow at 2:30 Central Time. Five years since LSU's last series win here. To be fair, they haven't had a lot of opportunities in that time. They wrap out 15 hits today, 16 runs. And we are joined now by LSU shortstop Kylie Edwards. Kylie, we appreciate you spending the time with us. Not only a cycle for you today, did you know that's the first cycle in the 46-year history of LSU softball?
Really, that's awesome.
What did it feel like when you saw that ball flying into right center and you took your first steps out of the box? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I hit the gap with the outside pitch, and I took off around first base, and I was like, oh, shoot, this might be it. And I took off as fast as I could, and I slid into third. And when I was up to bat, I didn't realize that I was a triple away from a cycle. But for some reason, I hit second base. I was like, oh, my gosh, go, run. And then I slid in, and I was like, I looked over at the dugout and saw my teammates and the coaches, and it was so surreal.
Well, Kylie, you had such a good game, obviously, at the plate, but really you had some phenomenal defensive plays as well. You want to talk about that in the field?
Yeah, Cece pitched her butt off, so she makes it easy for us, and we're out there just doing our job, and she pitched phenomenal.
Obviously, you guys got off to the 0-5 start in the SEC, but it never seemed like the level of belief around the team wavered, and you've reeled off 6 out of 9 wins in the league since then, a chance for the sweep tomorrow. What was the mindset and the turning point after that 0-5 start to get things going in the right direction?
Yeah, you could say it was 0 for 5, but we had really good at-bats. Our pitchers pitched amazing, so it was just a matter of time before everything clicked and we hit the ground rolling. I mean, we had 15 hits today. In SEC, that's super hard, so I'm just really proud of this team and all the girls that came out to compete today. I mean, it was super awesome to be a part of.
Kylie, we appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Kylie Edwards with the first cycle in the history of LSU softball in a 16-4 romp over Missouri. Boy, those fighting Tigers have been fighting in Como this weekend. They've outscored Mizzou 25-5 in 2 games. They'll have a chance at their first sweep of the year in the SEC tomorrow afternoon, SEC Network at 2:30. For producer Shea Person, my partner Ashley Moore, our whole crew, Nate Gatter saying so long from Columbia.